I'm honored, and it's a great pleasure to speak to you. Now I'm hearing the translation now, so can the translator change to Russian channel because I'm hearing through her? No, nothing. Okay. So I was saying it's been yesterday was already a great seminar, and this is an excellent way of well, personal is always better, but this is a nice way to exchange ideas, and I have had a lot of lots of excellent questions that really go into the depth of STEM education. And as all scientists know, the good question is already a long step towards the answers. Well, today we probably start with these questions. And I have printed these questions. I have them here on paper, so I can get through them. And all of these questions are really the ones that have been hot problems ever since this type of teaching was taken into use. So. The first question here on my list asks a very big question: how to track the development of research skills in children in the classroom and use their potential, and whether there is a need to implement the course to teach the research skills. Now, that is a huge question. It goes into there has several words which ask new questions, and the first one comes in the first line: what are the research skills? What if we say that you have good research skills or you don't have good research skills? What do we mean? Namely, research skill is not at all a simple thing. Research is not something that's made in isolation. It's not something that a nerd or genius does alone and then comes up with a ingenious new device or a patent or whatever. But the research skill can be and is very many different things depending on the role you have in the research. So there's really no simple answer to that. A good research skill, as far as I understand this thing, good research skills are skills of analysis. They are skills of communication. They are skills of synthesis. And they are also skills of innovation. And no one has all those skills. There is no such person who would have all those skills. That's it's just too much to ask. But luckily, we can put people together in groups in which their skills will complete each other. And that group will achieve something great. For example, if we take just one example, let's say the Apple. Everyone knows the story about Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs, right? There was one who was a nerd, who was so technically inclined that he would, if he was left alone with the research, he would never publish anything, because he would keep the results for himself, since he had this nerd attitude. He had this satisfaction of the gained knowledge. And that's of course a very great thing, but that's not everything, because you always need someone to communicate, you need someone to coordinate, and so on. So the question, back to the first line, how to track the development of research skills? There is, as far as I understand, just about one way, and that is observing them. In Finnish physics, yesterday we were speaking about the national curriculum. And in national curriculum, we have these standards of assessment. And those standards are twofold. They are the skills and the knowledge, and the working skills. And now we are in the working skills. And yes, I was trying to Google, and I did find some great texts which are related to the big question here in hand: how to make good research teams. The teams have to be such that the abilities and personalities of the members complement each other. Every teacher knows that if you let the pupils themselves create groups, you end up in a more or less a disaster. You have the highest skilled children go together, and then you have those chatty girls who go together, and then you have these losers, and they form one group, and you find out that you have very uneven groups with very uneven results, and none of them is optimal. So the key to the answer to the question one is the skill of is creating groups in which you have different types of personalities and different types of skills, but have attitude of accomplishing something together. So you have to have a common goal which ties together these different kind of personalities. And there's this funny thing. There are in the classes, there are pupils who have probably no other than the gluing people together skills. They are the nice guys and nice girls who get together with everyone, who are not particularly talented, but who have this magical skill of making people get together and work for a common goal. Those pupils are gold worth, and those should be utilized. Hopefully you understand. I'm trying to get clear my ideas of this thing. So the optimal thing is always, okay, you have to find work for everyone. So you have to create groups in which you have good dynamics and different personalities, and you have to track them. You have to follow their work, and there are excellent sources. Of course, giving the task, giving the research task is one part. Probably guiding in enforcing the roles. Okay, you do this, you do that, and together you do this, based on how you know your pupils. And then, of course, during the work, guiding, asking good questions. This is what is very important. Asking the good Socratic leading questions is excellent way to guide the work, and also encourage doing things, encourage this scientific thinking, saying like, okay, you didn't get the result you expected, that's fine. Now report that. Report what you find. Don't report what you expect the teacher want you to report, but use your own brains. So these are all those important research skills which can be brought together, but not a single person ever has them all. At least I have not met one. Yes. And the second question is,
Erkko,
yes.
excuse me.
Yes.
May I say something about the first one, please?
Yes, of course, please.
So yes, I also think about research skills, emphasizing the latter word, skills. To me, it means that any skill, such as riding a bicycle, for example, that is a skill as well. And to me, it means that it can be learned. It's not something you are born with. But you can learn to ride a bike. You can learn to speak different languages, and you can learn research skills as well. So I think that is something to keep in mind as well, that it's not something that some students have or may not have, but because the skill in this context refers to a variety of skills, a variety of competencies that give the great potential, especially for the group work that Erkko is referring to. So we must keep in mind that any student can grow up and grow with studying and learning skills along the time. Naturally, they are not flourished in one lesson or one course or one project, but it takes time, and most likely they will also learn from each other, and that is also good to keep in mind. The students can reflect their own personal skills against and with their peers.
Yes, excellent.
And one more, if I may continue, the Erkko was referring to teachers' ability to discuss with students and make questions for them, but also the other way around, that a long time ago when I was a teacher, I encouraged my students to make questions, and I still believe that the ability, let's call it a skill, why not, the skill of making good questions is a good start to any researcher, whether young or old. But making the questions is a good start, and that is something I think that can also be taught by teachers and developed by students themselves.